Welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 technical stress test video, and we're going to look at the Holy Roman Empire and its tech tree now. On the back of the video I put up earlier showing some of their gameplay, and do feel free to check down below as I will pop the link to that there. So, they're a difficulty 2 of 3 to play, which is probably kind of fitting. They're not as difficult as the Abbasids, certainly, however, they're probably more towards the same as playing as the British, which is only a 1-star, the English I should say. Their strengths are infantry, religion and defence, which all kind of fit for a change. The prelates enhance the economy of the Holy Roman Empire, while powerful infantry units form the core of its military. Enemies must face an opponent able to rapidly recover from attacks and field strong counterattacks. There is a particular building which allows them to do that strong counterattacks, and I now understand why they say that. Army of the Empire. Upgrade infantry with impactful technology and field a sturdy man-at-arms earlier than other civilizations. Basically, some of the other civilizations don't get the man-at-arms until the Castle Age, not including the English obviously, who get theirs in the Dark Age. Religious zeal. Extract additional gold from relics and inspire units with prelates produced from the town centre. Influence. Buildings constructed within the influence of the town centre or a keep gain the emergency repairs ability, which can be activated to repair the building. Civilization bonuses overall. The prelate available in Dark Age 1. The early man-at-arms available in the Feudal Age or 2. Garrison relics inside outpost keeps and towers to improve their sight range, weapon range, armor range and damage. Docks can garrison relics, increasing attack speed for all ships by 5% per relic. Now, does that apply to all ships over the map or just ones near the docks? Because that's a huge bonus in the grand scheme of things, especially if it's at 25%. Or is it ones that are built at that dock? I'm not sure. I do wonder. And then you have the cost of emplacements on outposts, wall towers and keeps is reduced by 25%. Now, one comment I would make there is that I couldn't actually buy any emplacements for the wall towers. It seemed to get them automatically or wasn't giving me a choice. So I'm not sure how that's getting a 25% discount. Unique units for the Holy Roman Empire are the prelate, which provides holy inspiration to villagers, making them work 40% faster for 30 seconds. That's not right. Or it is right, and the tooltip in the game is wrong. The tooltip in the game says 40% faster for 20 seconds, and then it goes to 30 seconds later, I'm pretty sure. Whereas here it says 30 seconds. Or I could be getting confused, but I think that's the case. And then you get the Landsknecht, which is a light infantry with a large two-handed sword capable of doing significant area of effect damage. So unlike the man-at-arms which has a shield and extra armor, the Landsknecht does not. But let's have a look through the tech tree in the buildings. So you start with the town centre. You can't actually build one at the start, but you get one. You can build villagers, scouts, and the prelate is the one that's different here. Now I'll just hover over it. It costs 100 gold. It's unique to the Holy Roman Empire, and it doesn't really say everything here, but can support a unit with no combat capability, automatically inspires villagers to greatly improve their gather rate, can pick up relics, convert enemy units and capture sacred sites, starting in the Castle Age. So one thing to note there is that while it can inspire villagers before the Castle Age, it doesn't get the ability to do any of these other things until then, just like the monks from the other civilizations. It can obviously heal friendly units, but it has low health. You then get your house, you get your mill, which has exactly the same upgrades as all the sites we've looked at so far. Again, I don't know why, it seems a bit boring. I thought they might have mixed it up a bit like they did in Age of Empires 2, where some have stronger economies in one area than others, but maybe they're trying to make it so it's easier to switch in and out as you learn how to play the game and get better with each civilization. Then you get the lumber camp, which again, same upgrades as we've seen before, all that 15% gather rate increase at each level. And the mining camp, exactly the same again, 15% at each level for stone and gold. You obviously can build farms, and you can build the barracks, which in the Dark Age you can only build spearmen. Then you get hardened spearmen and the early man-at-arms. You get the normal man-at-arms in the Castle Age, and then an elite man-at-arms in the Imperial Age. The Landsknecht you don't get until the Castle Age. Then we get to see some of their unique upgrades. Firstly, heavy maces for the man-at-arms. So the men-at-arms wield maces, increasing their bonus damage against heavy targets by 6, which is a big deal. And then you can upgrade that to a two-handed weapon. So they will use a two-handed mace rather than just a one-handed mace and a shield. You can also get riveted chainmail, which increases the melee armor of all spearmen by +3. Pretty nice upgrade. Again, it's unique. At the docks, you get your fishing boat and transport ship in the Dark Age. Then you get your trade ship and your galley, which is your archer ship. You get your hulk and demolition ship, and then you get your carrack, which is your cannon ship. And we're seeing the same upgrades again. So extended lines and drift nets for the fishing ships. We do get fire stations here, which is unique to the Holy Roman Empire, which increases the repair rate of docks by 100%. So, we can consider these guys a seagoing nation. They do get a few bonuses to ships, and obviously the ship speed bonus from the relics, and then this kind of unique technology. You get the navigated lookout, you get additional sails, which we've looked at before. We get the armoured hull and the extra ballista for ballista attack ships. We also get the chaser cannons to increase the weapons range of warships by 1. And then we get the explosives, which increases the damage of incendiary ships by 40%. Get your palisade walls, you get your palisade gate. Let me just shut this down so I have less to scroll through. You get your outpost, which can have arrow slits, a spring bolt emplacement, or a cannon. And obviously you can fortify the outpost. Then, your upgrade buildings to get to Age 2 are either the military landmark, the Meinwerk Palace, which is basically a blacksmith. But the technology research here costs -25%. It is a huge building though. It is not small, it is an absolutely massive building compared to a blacksmith. But that's where you get all your technological upgrades, which are exactly the same as the ones we've already seen. So you get your usual melee damage, melee defense, and ranged armor. You get your siege engine technology, but you also get a unique to the Holy Roman Empire marching drills, which increases the movement speed of infantry by 10%. And you get military academy, which we've seen before, which again just reduces the time it takes to produce things by 25%. The other option is the Akan Chapel, which is a building that can inspire units in a large radius around it as long as there is a prelate inside. The thing to note there is, I suppose, I'm not sure if it affects military units because I haven't tried it yet on military units, but obviously it will work on your villages, so it could be a good thing to build right next to where your farms are going to be and where you think you might be doing your wood cutting. So you can sort of cover both those bases and give that inspiration to those units to get that extra 40% gather rate. Though long term, really it's only going to cover the farms because they're the only thing that aren't going to move. So moving on to the Feudal Age, obviously you have the town centre, which has the villager, a scout, though for some reason they don't have the prelate there, even though I'm pretty sure it should be down here as well, so I'm a little bit confused by that. Then you have the market, which just has your trader as usual, the blacksmith, which is exactly the same as above, you get that extra marching drills. Battering ram, siege tower, you get an archery range, and here we're a little bit more limited to what we're getting, so we get the standard archer, we get the crossbowman, and then we get the hand cannoneer in Age 4. Stables, again, we're a little bit more limited in what we're getting. We're seeing the scout, we're getting a horseman, and we're getting a knight and an elite knight. You get your stone wall, your stone gates, and your stone wall towers, which didn't appear to have any upgrade options. Then, thinking about going to Age 3, you get a religious landmark or a military landmark. The religious landmark is the Regnitz Cathedral. Relics placed within the Regnitz Cathedral generate 200% gold every minute, and it can hold up to 3 relics. Now, I'm a bit confused because I suddenly realised that I didn't know how much a relic normally gave if you put it into a church from the English, for example. So I'm a little bit unsure how much 200% gold really is. When I click on the building, it tells me you get 100 every minute, but I don't know if I'm getting 300 every minute or 100 is the 200% bonus. So I need to go back and play one of the other sides to double check that. Or you have the option of the Burgrave Palace. This acts as a barracks producing infantry 5 at a time. So just to clear something up, they aren't any cheaper, they charge you for 5. The difference is that it spits out 5 units in the time it takes to build 1 at another barracks. So depending on what you want, I suppose you could just build 5 barracks. However, it is quite nice to see 5 come out of a building at once, and this is where that whole they're able to push back and do a massive counterattack is because they have that ability. They can churn out 5 infantry at a time. It's a lot faster. And just so you can have a look, they're basically the same units and upgrades that you get in a normal barracks. Then into the Castle Age you get the Keep, which gets its usual upgrades. However, there are some additional technologies there. So in the Castle Age you can get slate and stone construction, which means all buildings gain a +5 fire armor. And then in the Imperial Age, Age 4, you get one that increases the health of walls, towers and gates by 40%. So again, that's where the defensive bonuses for this side are coming from. Then you also get the monastery, and this is where things are a little bit different for the Holy Roman Empire. Obviously, again, you can build the prelate here, which is a unique unit, but you also get some new upgrades. So, the technology here, Benediction, inspires villagers to construct 15% faster. I can't always think of times when I would have used that, perhaps if I was building a wonder more than anything else. Then you have Devoutness, which inspired villagers gather resources 10% faster than they previously did. So that's 50%, which is a nice big upgrade. And then you get Inspired Warriors. Now, the wording here is either wrong or the effect is wrong. So, Prelates can inspire military units, improving their armor by 1 and their damage by 15%. When you then look at the tooltip on the character after you have done this upgrade, it's changed, and I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if it's that you do this upgrade and it adds to what was already there, or this unlocks inspiring military units full stop, because it seems to suggest that this is unlocking the ability to inspire military units. So I need to go back and double check this. However, when you click the tooltip on the actual unit, it says that it gives +5 armor and increases damage by 20% for 30 seconds, which is a huge difference to what is here. So I'm a little bit unsure on that. I need to have a look and do some testing. Then you get Piety, and obviously you get Tithy Barnes, which everyone else gets anyway. So far at least. Then obviously you get the Siege Workshop, and here we're seeing this Bringold, the Mangonel, the Counterweight Trebuchet, Bombard, and the Culverin. The Culverin is something that the Abbasid also get, and that is specifically a long-range cannon made for destroying siege equipment. And my gosh, does it do a good job at that. I used it in my video, which again you can see down below, against the Nest of Bees, and this was a one-hit kill. One cannonball from this killed a nest of bees instantly. So, you know, if you're up against China, don't leave home without 1 or 2 of these, because the nest of bees are a nightmare. It also attacks without having to set up, which is nice. It just rolls around on its wheels. Obviously the standard upgrades, greased axles, roller shooter triggers, adjustable crossbars, and siege works. They don't get anything unique here. Then your upgrades to Age 4 is either an economic landmark, the Palace of Swabia, or Swavia. This acts as a town centre, produces villages 75% faster and minus 75% at cost. Cost to build this landmark is also reduced by 20%. So you can upgrade sooner with this, but I must admit, by this time in the game, I'm not sure of the benefit of producing villages 75% faster and at 75% less cost. I'm not sure. I'm just not feeling that one. The other option is the Elsbach Palace, which acts as a keep with plus 50% health, and all buildings within its influence take 33% less damage. That's pretty impressive. That's something that should be built on your front lines, perhaps next to another keep, to give it an additional bit of bonus health. I'll just show you what they have there. So, the Palace of Swabia, I don't know why it's showing everything over here, because technically it should all just be right under it. I don't think they've finished this off quite right. But exactly the same as a town centre. At least they've remembered to include the prelate there this time. And then the Elsbach Palace just gets the same upgrades as a keep. And then in Age 4 we have the University, and again we're just seeing very standard technologies here, nothing special for the Holy Roman Empire. You have Chemistry, which increases gunpowder unit damage, Geometry increases rams and trebuchets damage, Biology increases the health of cavalry, Incendiary arrows increases the damage of all range units and buildings by 20%, does not apply to gunpowder units of course. Court Architects increases the health of all buildings by 30%, and Elite Army Tactics increases the health of all melee infantry by 10% and their damage by 10%. Elite Army Tactics, definitely one you're going to want for the Holy Roman Empire because of the sheer number of infantry you are going to be pumping out. And then your unique wonder is the Great Palace of Flensburg. Flensburg? I don't know where Flensenberg came from. Flensburg. And that's the entire tech tree. Now, I'm not 100% sure that all of the tooltips on these tech trees are correct. I think there are still a few errors in them, but only time will tell. So either later today or more likely tomorrow, I'll be putting up a similar video for the Abbasid Caliphate. They're a very difficult civilization to play, and I will definitely be putting up a video of me playing them. A lot more complex with how you upgrade them, but we'll talk about that more tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Age 4 content.